Yes, beautiful people. We're there in the building, Jamaican youth in the building yet again. And in this one, we're talking about the Jamaica Reggae Boys defeating Nicaragua by 2 goals to nil. People, we're not going to make this one long. We're going to get into it really quickly, but I just want to give people some time to get into the room. I know today is going to be a busy day on YouTube. A lot of people are going to be doing their live streams and talking about this game because the Reggae Boys had an awesome victory last night. What a victory over Nicaragua last night. Jamaica 2, Nicaragua nil, and goals by our own goal that was scored on Jamaica, in the first half, what I mean, and then in the second half we see a goal by the second goal scored there from the I don't remember, by Romario Williams. The goal headed in by Greg Lee. Greg Lee was kind of a little bit upset about it, but Romario Williams was on the edge of it on 218. So yeah, welcome in everybody. I know I don't know how many people going to come into this one today, but we're still going to tackle some topics. I have some topics here written down and more to get into. And yeah, what a victory. What a victory today. What a victory last night by the Reggae Boys. I mean, it was good to see, a victory under such tough conditions. Tough conditions because you're playing away from home, you're playing down there in Managua, Nicaragua, and you're also playing against a Central American team. They're very good at ball possession. They're very good at passing around the ball and all of that. So, there was a lot to watch. Up, Chorus Carnif, thank you for being here, man. Very excited this morning. And with us happy for be able to talk down the game and give our breakdown again about it. Not everybody might see the game like how I see it, but just excited to give my breakdown of the game and everything. One of the first thing we want to say, is big up to Coach Steve McLaren. Big up to Steve McLaren. Because, what I mean, like he has been doing an excellent job. Unbeaten. Steve McLaren is unbeaten in playing for coaching Jamaica so far. He has, gotten to two wins from 3 games, 2 wins, 1 draws, no losses. And we're going to the encounter against Honduras on Monday, feeling pretty confident, feeling pretty good that we can do a good job. Yes, Chorus, I agree with you. The Nicaraguans quick on the counter. And this coach has been brave. Steve McLaren, man, like, think about some of the stuff he did last night. He started Romario Williams, a USL player, up front. Even though, personally, for me, Romario Williams always plays well when he plays for Jamaica. I know some people have a problem with him. I think they have a problem with him because of the level that he plays. But he always plays well when he plays for Jamaica. But he started he started Romario Williams. He also started Tyreek Macgee. That was bravery because more Hallgrims would not have done that. Coach Hallgrims would not have done that. You know what I mean? So for him to make that bold decision in an away game, in a crucial game, a game that I would consider a must-win game for Jamaica, that was pretty bold of McLaren to do that. Then he also started Karai Anderson, a player that have been in the team for ages. Well, I shouldn't say ages, but he has been in the team for a while. And when Hallgrims was around, he wasn't starting Karai Anderson. But Hallgrims came in and he started Karai Anderson. First time we see him. No, Karai Anderson, I didn't think he had the best game in the first half. He got better in the second half. But and overall, his game was, not as good as I would have liked it. But still, I commend the coach for being brave with that selection. I also commend the coach for starting Tavon Gray in right back, who had a decent game. He looked good. last night. So, very good, very bold move by Coach McLaren. And the fact that he, is unbeaten in 3 games, he is moving this team from strength to strength. I really look forward. I am excited about Jamaica's football now in a way that, even though when Hallgrims was here, even though I personally was satisfied with Hallgrims, I don't know that I was this excited about it. And the thing about it is that with Steve McLaren, I think that the ceiling is higher. He's creating competition within this team, and he's creating depth within the team as well. So I really look forward to see what this coach is going to where this coach is going to bring this team, and some of the things that he's going to be doing, man. Like, Honduras is going to be the next game. I hope the stadium is full to capacity when that game comes around, because I know that game is going to be an exciting game. Tyreek Macgee alone can fill out the whole stadium. So we're going to talk about all of those things today. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about all of these finds today. We're going to look at the team, and we're going to give a breakdown of this 2-0 victory, which now brings Jamaica to the top of the standings in their group, and on course to win, to be able to win the group, on course to top the probably be the best first place finisher in both zones, and go on to maybe hopefully face the lowest rank top 4 teams, maybe Panama in this. So we're going to break down all of that. We're going to try and be brief today, but I want to talk first about Tyreek Macgee. I just talk about Steve McLaren. I think Steve McLaren first and foremost deserves all the praise for the job that he has been doing. He has come very seamlessly into this job, and is creating an atmosphere of winning. He's creating a winning habit. Winning becomes a habit, and Coach McLaren is creating that. Players are getting opportunities under Coach McLaren. Competition is being created in the team under this coach, and in general, the trajectory of Jamaica football is on the right path under this coach. All is looking good. The JFF is doing well, and so on and so forth. The football is looking real, real good. Now, even though we never really have that dominant possession that we saw against Cuba and the first half of the Honduras game, we still see where this team is moving on from strength to strength. We're developing that I don't want to say killer instinct, but that steeliness where you go in and you can depend on them, doing well. They're developing a winning habit, and this coach has, is to be lauded, is to be praised because of that, because he's bringing in new players. Mason Holgate is presenting more depth in the squad. There are more players to come. He's looking at everybody, giving everybody a good shot, and so on and so forth. So I talk about Steve McLaren, and I'm going to break down the game. I'm going to break down the game, but I just want to make some honorable mentions. The next one is Tyreek Macgee. I mean, the talk of the town. Everybody's talking about the outstanding game that Tyreek Macgee had, because we need a midfielder with skill like Tyreek Macgee. He makes the game interesting. He makes some slick passes. He had a touch on every ball that ended up in the back of the net. Whether it was the pass that he made to Bobby Reid, who, switched it over to try and find Damari Gray, who, ended up, I guess, pushing that defender on the ball and the ball going. Because truth of the matter, if VAR was there, VAR, I don't know if that goal would have going. But that's not our problem today. We want that goal. We wanted that 3 points, But Tyreek Macgee made a good pass to Bobby Reid, who made that cross. And then the ball that led to the corner that Bobby Reid took, which Greg Lee headed in, that was subsequently touched by Romario Williams to lead to the second goal. That was also a pass that came from a Tyreek Macgee. So, I mean, like, we have to give thanks for the way the reggaeboyz played yesterday, and the fact that I think maybe Tyreek Macgee might be the find of this window. Tyreek Macgee is you know, the person who I think came in and you know, a position is needed. Somebody needs to come and take this midfield position, and he is making a good claim for it. As a matter of fact, Tyreek Macgee is endorsed by Ravel Morrison, the same midfield player that we all love and would want to see in the team. Is, you know, Ravel Morrison endorsed Tyreek Macgee, and Tyreek Macgee is looking better, isn't he? Isn't Tyreek Macgee looking better? He's running more now. He looks fitter. He doesn't look winded. He looks like he belongs on the team. He's going back and playing defense, even breaking up some players and making some good passes. He needs more minutes, man. And to be honest with you, in the first half, when I watched him, Tyreek Macgee, he actually never really looked that good in my opinion. But I think as the second half came around and as the game went on, he was looking much better, looked much more composed on the ball, looked much more comfortable on the ball, and was doing his thing. So Tyreek Macgee, very good game, you know, and we're going to look at the scores that were given to each player, and you know, but I just want to give my own personal take on his playing. I wonder if he will play in the Honduras game. It would be nice. Wouldn't it be interesting to see a Tyreek Macgee with a Casey Palmer and either Joel Latimer there or Mesa Holgate as a CDM? You know what I mean? Like, that would be an interesting middle. So we're looking forward to see that. Now, I know in this game, Tyreek Macgee was playing more so as a winger, though. I think he was playing as a winger in that game, in the game yesterday. I don't know if the coach kind of just pushed him out there because he wanted Bobby Reid in the middle a little bit more. So he put Tyreek Macgee out on the wing, but very, very good game by Macgee. The team is looking much better overall, even though we didn't have that dominant game. But I think generally for me, the pitch, the AstroTurf has a little bit to do with how, you know, dominant we were going to be, because I don't think most of our players are as good on that AstroTurf. You know what I mean? So I believe that the AstroTurf had something to do with how we played in terms of not playing that dominant ball possessing game that I know this coach wants us to play, but we found a way to dig out the win, and not only dig it out by getting a 1-0 win, not just eking by with a 1-0 win, getting a 2-0 victory is convincing enough for me away from home. So I am really, really happy with the win. I'm really, really happy with the direction that the game is going in. Yeah, when the second goal scored, the entire stadium went silent. And didn't the Nicaraguan fans come out? Didn't they really come out to support their team? The stadium was full. You know, I think I've watched a few more Nicaragua games in this window, in this CONCACAF Nations League, and they never have so much people in the stadium. But when Jamaica is coming to town, you know, it's a big game, and Jamaica showed up. We played well, and you know, I'm really, 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 really proud of the team. Big up to the JFF, big up to the coach, and big up to the players, man. Don't overshadow Blake. Esse chorus, don't overshadow Blake, D'Lo, Pinnock, Bobby Reid, and Greg. No, man. No, man, I talk about them too, man. I talk about them, man. Andre Blake is the next one I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about Bobby Reid as well. Andre Blake was clearly the man of the match. Andre Blake, you know, as you can see, he actually he made some pull out some really brilliant saves, especially towards the end of the game when the guy that took the bicycle kick is and it's like a double save. Andre Blake is Mr. Consistent. I mean, he is always good. So that's why a lot of the time people might not mention him a lot, because he just always plays well. He always shows up when we need him. He always plays a good game. Andre Blake, and he was the man of the match. I mean, that goes without saying. He was scored the highest, at least for me, and at least for many others. So he was clearly the man of the match. Andre Blake, very good in goal, very solid. Don't really have to worry too much. Even I remember there was a pass back from Damian Lowe that, you know, almost go back into the goal, and Andre Blake had to really cover a good distance, you know, put that ball back under control, trying to pass out to the back. Even the balls that Andre Blake played long were going to somebody. It wasn't just randomly booted up the field. You know, as a matter of fact, some of the balls he played long, Romario Williams, who had a very good hold-up game, you know, he was able to control some of those balls, hold it up, and pass it off to other players. So Blake, clearly the man of the match. I mean, he's Mr. Consistent. He always does well. So, you know, we have a big amount. And then, of course, Bobby Reid, to me, was the engine of this win. That's what I call him, the engine of this win. He was the man that was all over the pitch. He was the inspiration last night for the reggaeboyz, man. Like, that guy, trust me, like, he is always here when he's called, and he always shows up. He's very consistent on the field as well. Of course, he had a hand in both goals. He was the one that crossed the ball over to looking for Damari Gray that led to the own goal. And then he was the one who took the corner that Greg Lee headed in, that a lot of people say Romario Williams thieved the goal still. But, you know, I mean, when I really care about that, I'm glad to say Jamaica, as long as Jamaica wins, whosoever scored a goal, scored a goal. But Bobby Reid was the engine of this team. He was all over the pitch last night. And, you know what I mean, he was great. Now, Damian Lowe was good. Damian Lowe was great as well. I went up the pitch sometime. I like that move that he made where he dribbled, where a ball was like, you know, headed out. A corner was taken, the ball was headed out. It landed at his feet. It dribbled all the way up into the next into Nicaragua's half. I was trying to make a pass, but it never really came off. He had a decent game. I wouldn't put it on the same level of the impact that Bobby Reid have and Andre Blake had, but he had a decent game. Damian Lowe, Pinnock. A lot of people don't even realize the intelligence of Ethan Pinnock. You know, I noticed a lot of the balls he made passes. Some of the passes that he made actually broke the press when Nicaragua was pressing Jamaica in defense. Some of the passes he made broke the press. Some passes that people are not even, you're not even like thinking he would make a pass like that, and he makes a pass. He breaks the press. His level of intelligence on the field is outstanding. You know, Ethan Pinnock. The defense was good. The defense was good. Tavon Gray, Ethan Pinnock, Damian Lowe, and Greg Lee. So those are the honorable mentions I wanted to people. Steve McLaren, first of all, Tyreek Macgee, Bobby Reid, and Andre Blake. I think those four players were outstanding for us last night. And for me personally, those are the most outstanding players, are the outstanding people in the win. Now, I wanna talk a little bit about each player breakdown. So I kind of pulled up SOFA score, and I'm going to pull it up right now to look at how each player performed, or how each player was scored in this game. Now, first of all, right, as we said before, I have a lot of windows going on here. All right, as I said before, Steve McLaren was pretty brave in naming the starting team that he did. And so the players who we saw in the, let me just pull this up. Yeah. The players who we saw in the starting lineup would have made some people be like, wait, what's going on? So we saw Andre Blake in goal, Tavon Gray at right back, Damian Lowe and Ethan Pinnock in center of defense, and Greg Lee at left back, Karai Anderson and Joel Latimer there playing kind of sort of a midfield role, attacking midfield, defensive midfield. But it seemed like he played Tyreek Macgee as a winger and Damari Gray as a winger, even though I saw Tyreek Macgee doing a little bit of work in the middle of the park as well. But Bobby Reid was kind of playing as a central attacking midfielder, and then you had Romario Williams up front. Now, just looking at that starting lineup, I was like, okay, never expected to see Tyreek Macgee start. I still wanted him to get a lot of game time, but never expected to see him start. Never expected to see a Romario Williams. I thought for sure, what's his name, Mikel Antonio would have started, and they never really expected to see Karoy Anderson start either. I thought that was for sure going to be Casey Palmer, and then maybe even with Tavon Gray, even though Tavon Gray is in good nick right now, never expected to see him pass or start. I was thinking more of a of Lembe Kisa, even though Lembe Kisa is not in a club right now. No, when I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm not worried because I have a little bit of confidence in this coach. I think this coach wants to get us to the position where every player that comes onto the field know their role and can fit in well. Yes, chorus. I mean, Andre Blake is world class. For me, he's world class. He might not be playing in Europe, but for me, he's world class. I mean, it's just sad that he hasn't moved on to a team overseas so that people, you can really see him week in, week out against better opposition than you see him against the MLS. But I still think if he was playing in Europe, he would have been able to match up at that level as well. I think Andre Blake is world class, no doubt about it, in my opinion. But so I never really expected a Tavon Gray to start. I thought maybe that was going to be Lembe Kisa, but I have enough confidence in Steve McLaren to say whatever team he starts, I think that team is going to go out there and do well. And at least at a bare minimum, the players that we are starting is at least on the same level as these Nicaraguan players. They're not below the standard. You know what I mean? And I think in the first half, we didn't look that good. As a matter of fact, I really question the playing or the performance of Tyreek Macgee, of Karoy Anderson, and Romario Williams. I thought that those players never had good first half at all. They only came on a little bit better in the second half, but the first half wasn't very good. I think Karoy Anderson was losing the ball. He was turning over the ball too much. He never really looked very inventive. Like he never had any tricks up his sleeves, or he never had any creativity when he had the ball. He was just kind of a little bit lost on the field in the first half. Tyreek Macgee was still kind of finding his footing a little bit. And then Romario Williams, obviously he missed that header. That should have been a goal. You really should have put that one away. He missed that in the first half and just wasn't looking very good in the first half. Not in my opinion, at least. I think Bobby Reid was doing well. I think defense always was solid, but just really couldn't get anything going up front. So the first half kind of had me a little bit worried as to what was going to happen in the second half, because I don't think we looked that great in the first half. Nicaragua looked, they were controlling the game. They had more possession of the ball, and they looked like they were going to be a little bit more dangerous than we were being at the time. But as the second half came around, that changed. I thought there were going to be some changes. I thought at least the coach would have taken off Karoy and Romario Williams. I thought that at a minimum. And the reason why maybe I thought that is because that is what Hallgrimsson would have done. Hallgrimsson wouldn't even have started these players, but I think Hallgrimsson would have taken off Romario Williams. I think he would have taken off Karoy Anderson. And a lot of fans were thinking that too. A lot of fans were saying, let's take off. But the coach stuck with them. And that is why I give the coach kudos for being as brave as he was, because the thing about it is that is what you need. You need in order for the players to perform well, they need the coach to show confidence in them, and that is what he did. He never pulled them off, even though a lot of fans were saying they were having bad games. He stuck with them, and then in the end, they all played better. Tariq Macgee had a much better second half than he had in the first half, was putting together some good crosses. Same with Karai Anderson. He wasn't losing the ball as much. He was making some good passes. And then Romario Williams, of course, he got that goal. That really should be a Greg Lee goal, but still he played some good hold-up football for the team and, had a better second half. And because of, McLaren sticking with them, they will walk away from this game with more confidence and actually being able to execute what the coach wants in the future. Because let's face it, there are a lot of players that are going to be coming in this Jamaica squad over the next, leading up to the World Cup. Mason Greenwood might be the biggest name that's coming in, but there will be other players coming in because this coach is reaching out to many players across the diaspora. And I know a lot of people believe that he might not be doing anything after the international break. People kind of get the feeling like he just goes home and sits and does nothing. But it seems like he's in contact with new players to come and play for Jamaica. And that's why we had Mason Holgate showing up for this game. I never saw that coming. Mason Holgate's name wasn't in the media and all of that. I mean, I know he was a player that people talked about a lot, that he should be playing for Jamaica or he can play for Jamaica. But I never saw that he was on the horizon to come to play for the reggaeboyz. And Steve McLaren got him to come and play for us. So behind the scenes, he's doing the job. It might not seem apparent to us. So there will be other players coming into the Jamaica squad, and we're going to need depth in each position. We're going to need depth in defense. We're going to need depth in the middle of the park, in the midfield. We're going to need depth on the wings. We're going to need depth up front. The goalkeeping department is looking good between Blake, Jamali and what's his name, Kanaya Boyce Clark. 3 outstanding goalkeepers. We want to get to the point where, regardless of who comes or who goes on the field, we know that they are very capable of doing the job. And I think that is what this coach has created by starting some of the players that he has started this go around. So let's look at the player ratings. In goal, we see Ethan Pinnock. Looking at SOFA score, I just have it pull up here. Where's the rating? I think he had an 8.5 out of 10. Played 90 minutes. Sorry, 8.2. 8.2 out of 10. Played 90 minutes, 6 saves, 1 save from inside the box, 71% accurate passes, 14 long balls, 4 connected. But in general, man of the match, 8.2. He had the highest score of all the players on the on the field, and just continues to do an excellent job for Jamaica. Andre Gray definitely kept us in that game later on in the game. So I'm just refreshing this to see if, there we go. Tavon Gray with a 7.3 rating. Tavon Gray was decent to me. Over at right back, I think he looked fit. Every other time that we have gotten Tavon Gray before, he was out of season. Now he's in season. He's playing regular football for New York City, and played a decent game yesterday on right wing. He never looked out of position. He kept close to the Nicaraguan wingers and didn't look winded or tired or anything. Had a decent game, 7.3. Damian Lowe, 7.3 as well. Had a decent game, was very composed on the ball. Even made some forward runs. I know a lot of people are not, 100% satisfied with Damian Lowe all the while. But decent game. He's becoming a little consistent with putting in decent performances. It's good to see Mason Hall get there when Deshaun Bernard comes back as well. That's going to create a little bit more competition. But good game by Damian Lowe. Ethan Pinnock as well, very intelligent, 7.3. Very calm on the ball, very composed on the ball. Was always the person to you kind of look to if there was a long pass that is needed from defense, you kind of want him to be the one to make the decision to do that. Greg Lee, very good as well, 7.8 out of 10. He should have had that goal, but as I said, it doesn't matter who scores the goal. Headed that corner by Bobby Reid on frame. Romario Williams touched it in. But in general, he was very good at getting up and down the pitch for Jamaica. Greg Lee, so 7.8, fair score. Karai Anderson was given a 6.9. I think his score kind of got better in the second half because, again, the first half was not his best, but as the game went on in the second half, he became better. And I think he did a decent job towards the end of the game. And that is good that we can give young players like Karai Anderson game time, so much game time, especially in a position that we need, because I'm pretty sure there are going to be times when people are injured or whatever, and he's going to be called upon. So it's important for him to be blooded into the team. Well done. Joel Latiba there. Got a silly yellow card. I know that was out of frustration. He got a 6.8. He was decent as well. But not very good at making under pressure. When he's pressured, when people bear down on him and he has to make a quick pass, not very good on that. He got that foul out of frustration because he thought he should have gotten a foul in the play before, and that the referee didn't give him the call. Which, by the way, the refereeing was horrible. Referee was horrible. I don't know why when Jamaica go down to South America, they give Jamaica a South American referee, or when we go down to Central America, they give us some type of Central American referee. I think they should get somebody from Europe to come ref it, or somebody that don't come from any of those countries. The refereeing was horrible, So, Joel Latibody here, he got a silly yellow card, but it was out of frustration. I kind of saw it, and then Tyreek Macgee got a 7.2 out of 10. Had a decent game, but didn't have the best first half. Second half came on a little bit better, but good. 7.2 out of 10, very good. I hope to see more of Tyreek Macgee. Did a good job. Had a hand in some tangential way to both goals that were scored. So kudos to you, Tyreek Macgee. We talked about him earlier. Bobby Reid, the engine of the game, had an outstanding game as well. 7.6 out of 10. But I think he had an outstanding game. Was kind of up in the ref. Got that yellow card at the end of the first half. But the ref was horrible. The ref was absolutely horrible. Demari Gray, the player that was said seemed to play better when Leon Bailey is there as opposed to when he's not. He didn't have his best game. He took a shot at a few there, made some passes and made a few runs down the left wing, but never had the best game. 6.8 out of 10. He was subbed off later on in that game. And then Romario Williams, 7. Romario Williams had a much better second half than he did a first half. The first half was very average for him, but then he went on to have a decent second half. And, there you have it. He played a game. Then you saw people like Cephas and Mason Holgate coming in. I'm glad that those players got the opportunity to be in the field. Norman Campbell came on as well. I'm glad that those players had opportunities to come on and show themselves. So overall, a very good showing by Jamaica. I think that the players really did themselves, really did the country proud, really did, you know, themselves well. And now we're in a position where we're topping the group. We just need to win that second game. We need to win that game against Honduras, you know, and yeah, and then take it from there. So I don't know. I wanted to see if there's anybody in the chat. You know what I mean? Anybody in the chat or anybody listening, if any of you want to come up and give your thoughts on the game, what stood out to you? What were some of the things that, you know, made the game, you know, made the game interesting for you? What do you think? How do you think Jamaica move on from here? I'm gonna drop the link, and I don't know if somebody want to come up and give their thoughts. I mean, let me see if that goes up. I'm gonna try. I don't know if it will work, but if anybody want to come up and like just give your thoughts on the game, I am open to hearing from you. What are your thoughts? I mean, good game by the reggaeboyz. Are you seeing any deficiencies in the game? Are you liking what this coach is doing? And in general, do you think we are on track to make a deeper run in the Nations League this time around? I mean, last year we got to the semifinals and we got third. We became third. So can we better that position this year again? I don't know. I'm not seeing nobody come up still. My battery is dying. I need to go to my go get my cord to plug this in before it dies. Give me 1 second, people. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Give me 1 second. All right, people. Yes, I get a little bit some power going in it because I didn't want it to go. So, yeah. What are your thoughts? I know I see only a few people watching. But I don't know. Anybody have any thoughts on the game and what you'd like to see moving forward? I'll pull up back some of my notes that I have here. Yeah, there we go. You know, in general, I want to say congrats to the JFF and Steve McLaren, man. Like, yeah, the football is heading in the right direction, and I think we get to the point now where people can rally around the reggaeboyz now in a way that, you know, we can expect a performance. You know, it might not always turn out to be a win. I'm not expecting to win everything, but we can expect a performance. I think this coach sees Jamaica as, you know, highly talented, and I think he sees the team as being able to go very far, and you know, it will be really interesting when we get to teams like the US and Mexico and Canada and Panama. You know, quite personally, I would hope that we are able to be the best place group topper so that we can move on to play Panama, because I think Panama is who will play if we top the group. Actually, is that so? Because I think Panama actually might be higher ranked than Panama might be higher ranked than Canada in the CONCACAF index ranking. Let's look and see. CONCACAF index rankings. Men's. Actually, no. Oh, wow. Mexico is ranked 1. Canada is ranked 2. United States is ranked 3 in CONCACAF. Panama is ranked 4. Jamaica, Costa Rica is ranked number 5. And Jamaica is ranked number 6, with Haiti at 7. Haiti has no leapfrog Honduras, Guatemala. Wow. Interesting CONCACAF index rankings. So right now, if Jamaica was to be the best group topping team, they're going to play Panama. They're going to be playing Panama. And whosoever, isn't that funny? Whosoever is the second place group topping team is going to play United States. That is funny. But Canada has been a really good team, though. Canada has been a really good team since Jesse March took over Canada, because Canada got to the semifinals of the Copa America. And, Canada also beat the U.S. in a friendly international recently. So that's why their ranking went up. So Jesse March is doing a pretty good job there. So it will be interesting. I guess after Monday we will know who will play who, but it will be interesting to see who. I will be watching the Costa Rica game today because I want to see how they do, because they're the team that is going to. The other team that has the opportunity to top the group, being the best group topping team from this round. They play Suriname in Suriname today. I don't think that's going to be necessarily a sure win for Costa Rica. And the only other team that can give them any trouble is Guatemala, who is also on 4 points, but they have a less goal difference. They play Guyana today at 9 p.m. I think Guatemala will beat Guyana, but I'm not so sure Costa Rica will beat Suriname. That will be an interesting game. And then I wonder let's look and see who Costa Rica plays in the next window or the next match day. Costa Rica will play Guatemala. That will be an interesting game. So Costa Rica plays Suriname today at Suriname. That's not a sure win for them. And Guatemala plays Guyana in Guyana. I think Guatemala will beat Guyana, but I'm not so sure Costa Rica will beat Suriname. Suriname is a strong team. And then in the second window, it will be Costa Rica versus Guatemala. So that will be a grand finale. And at the same time, Jamaica will be playing Honduras in that same window. I expect a Jamaica win, especially because we have them at home and we already beat them away from home. So I'm expecting good things. All right, so nobody wants to come up and give their their thoughts on the game. If there's no one wants to give any thoughts, I will close down early. But anyone wants to give the thoughts on the game, your thoughts on Tyreek Macgee. I know everybody's praising him. No, but it's not everybody really feel that way. Damian Lowe, I know he was scored highly, but not everybody feel like he played well, or played that well. Romario Williams, he scored a goal and was scored highly, but not everybody feel the same way. Does anyone have any thoughts on that? Because Very interesting game. I was pretty excited watching the game, end to end stuff. There wasn't really a point in the game where I felt like Jamaica was going to lose per se, but for sure it was um, it was a game that was interesting. Nicaragua made it interesting. I think they're horrible in front of goal though. When they get their chances, I remember at the start of the second half, they would get the ball when we boot it out, and they would dribble. They would keep the ball right until they reach into the final third, and they will just spew the shots. They would just kick and it just go all over the place. Which, I mean, for us, that is fine, but for them, it wasn't really that good of a look. But a good game by the reggaeboyz. And all right, everyone. I don't see anybody coming up. So I said everything I'd like to say. The only thing I'd like you to do is as you're coming in, just hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate your presence here. And yeah, I'm gonna be doing some more lives. So just give my opinion on football, on Jamaica's football. I like the direction it's going in right now. I have some JFF things I like that I see. I like where the national team is going. I like talking about the Jamaica Premier League as well. So those are some of the topics that I'll be covering. And yeah, I'll be doing a little bit more of that. So anyway, everyone, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Again, please hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. And until next time, take care of yourself. Walk good. Peace out.